Hi everyone, welcome back to This Book Belongs to Fam. Today we are going to be doing a book haul. So my last book haul was about all of the books that I got in 2021, which wasn't a lot really because I was reading a lot on my Kindle, and I've decided that I just wanted to buy books that I know I love, or at least buy a series once I know that I love the first book. So this year, because I read a lot last year, now I have a lot of books that I love. So I started looking at secondhand bookstores as well as just regular bookstores to look for the titles that I really enjoyed last year, as well as some titles that I know that I will love based on the first book in the series. I think this is like towards the end of December up until like last week. So these are all of the books that I haven't shared in the previous book haul that I've done, but I think I shared some of them on Instagram. So not all of them are like new. So I guess let's just dive into all of the books that I got recently. First one is one that I'm really excited about, is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. So I read this book last year. You might have noticed in my previous book haul, I actually got the book 2 in the series. So this is book 1. I got book 2 because I wanted to read it physically. I'm still hunting down book 3, which is Hero of Ages. It's so hard to find the same edition, or at least same cover style. I really love this very old style cover. I think it's very unique, especially these days. I don't see a lot of covers like this. I bought this one off of a store on Shopee, and I'm actually planning on rereading Mistborn before I dive into reading book 2. So maybe you can expect like a Mistborn reading vlog from me, but I'm just excited to dive back into this world and to just read the entire trilogy back to back. So yeah, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. The next 2 books that I got are Agatha Christie books. I have never read any Agatha Christie books, so these are my first 2 books from her. I'm actually going to be reading the first Hercule Poirot mystery, which is A Mysterious Affair at Styles, this month, March. So that's sort of just gonna give me like a taste test of Agatha Christie's writing style and how she delivers the plot and the clues and everything. I love murder mysteries like this. I grew up playing Nancy Drew. You remember those computer games? And I kind of feel like I'm gonna be reliving those childhood memories with this book. So the first Agatha Christie that I have here is the Seven Dials mystery. So in this book, you have Jerry Wade, who is known as a heavy sleeper. So he sleeps like a log. And one day, his house guests decided to play a prank on him. They placed 8 alarm clocks around him, which are set to go off at like 6:30 in the morning. The next morning, 1 clock is missing. And I'm guessing they find him dead. I'm guessing that's the tragedy that happened. So I'm super curious about this one, Agatha Christie and the Seven Dials mystery. So the next Agatha Christie book that I got is Five Little Pigs. So this is a Hercule Poirot mystery. And essentially we are following the daughter of Caroline, who was convicted of poisoning her husband. They believe that there's no like hard evidence, and there are 5 other people who could have done the same thing. So that we are gonna follow like a perspective of each of those characters and try to figure out, is her mother actually innocent? Who of these 5 little pigs actually poisoned Caroline's husband? So yeah, that is the 5 Little Pigs. And one thing I noticed with this too, I love how the cover feels. These are paperbacks. And I love how it feels. It's like there's like a texture, like a buttery texture to it. Can you hear that? It feels so good in the hand. So yeah, those are the 2 Agatha Christie's that I got. And then I'm gonna go on to the next set of books that I got, which is the Kingdom of Cards duology. So I have Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles and When Night Breaks. So this is a book that I've read recently. I read Where Dreams Descend in February. I'm gonna have my wrap up linked up in the cards if it's available already. I'm not quite sure yet. This is the first book, and we are following Kalia, who is a showgirl at a nightclub. She's like very mysterious, very charismatic, and she has a lot of patrons. But Kalia has actually never ventured outside of the nightclub. She does not know the world outside, and one day she decides to rebel. she decides that enough is enough. I'm gonna explore the world. So she runs away and joins a tournament. So yeah, that is Where Dreams Descend. I love this book. I mentioned this in the reading vlog where I read this book, that it really felt like a mix between Moulin Rouge and Phantom of the Opera, and that just gave me really good visuals. This is a really nice hardcover copy. So look at the naked cover. Very beautiful gold foil embossing of the chandelier, and then look at the end papers. Oh, so pretty. And of course, I had to go ahead and get the second book. I have not read this book yet. I'm super excited. I'm going to read it this month. I can't tell you much about this book because it's going to spoil the first book. But yeah, look at the blue of this cover. So beautiful. And then, of course, you got to see the naked covers. Look at that. It's a broken mirror that's a silver foil. So pretty. And then the end papers. Well done. Well done. I really love it. Look at them side by side. These are beautiful, beautiful books, and they did not cost a fortune. It's just the standard hardback price, so I'm happy about that. So the next set of books that I got is the Fullmetal edition of Fullmetal Alchemist. So I only have 4 volumes right now. There are 19, 20. There's quite a lot of volumes, but let me just put this on because it's super heavy. So I started collecting this because I want to be able to read all of the manga in one go. I loved, oh my gosh. Started collecting this edition because I want to read the entire manga in one go. Still missing a lot, but yeah, I'm collecting them slowly because it's not easily available in the Philippines. They usually only stock like a couple of copies per volume, so I'm just hunting down the website for fully booked. So right now I have volume 2, which has Alphonse in the cover, and look at the foiling. Super nice. It's also really beautiful inside. You have this see-through paper, so you can see a portion of the design. Super nice. I really love this edition. And then I have next volume 5, which has Sensei. I love the attention to detail where you have different colors of foil. You have different colors for the end papers as well. Yeah, that match the foiling. Then the next one that I have is volume 10 here. So the silver foil and like a gray end papers. And it also has this UV printing. This one, it's UV printed, so that's super beautiful. And finally, we have volume 14, which has Greedo. So I really love it. Feels so good in the hands too. And finally, my prized possessions. I've had this in my cart for so long, and I really saved up just to be able to get this. And you can already see it. It's the Shades of Magic trilogy, but it has the beautiful sprayed edges of the map of London, because you know Shades of Magic is set in like multiple Londons. So I did some research because I wasn't sure which edition this was, but apparently I think it's just the regular hardback, but it was custom spray painted. They're super beautiful. Look at this. And I wanted to get this one not just because of the sprayed edges. I also really prefer the cream color of the cover, because if you buy the regular collector's edition, they have black covers, right? The main color of the covers are black, and then each spine is like a different color, and I don't really like how it looks. I think it clashes a lot with the design of the cover, which I adore. I love this design so much. I just think it just pops out better on the cream colored covers. So that is the perk for me of reading a book first before buying a physical copy, because I can feel comfortable investing in sprayed edges, like special editions, and I can really take my time in choosing the version that I want, or like the edition that I want. And that's just a lot more practical for me as a person who has like limited funds to purchase books. So yeah, those are the new additions to my library. I've posted photos of my bookshelf, and if you see my bookshelf now, it's pretty much like almost empty because I don't have a lot of books and I've only just started collecting them. So now I'm happy to shelve these books and stare at them. Just kidding. I have a couple here that I haven't read yet, so I'm super excited to start reading those. Books just make me so happy. So let's shelve these books, shall we? That's it for today's video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!